leadership program has rapidly established itself as a premier platform for cultivating female leadership. And we have successfully completed 2 preceding cohorts where we welcome a total number of 42 highly motivated students in our alumni network. So the launch of Cohort 3 marks a pivotal moment in our journey, underscoring the program's growing continental traction and recognition. This year, we'll receive a record number of applications with 62 aspiring leaders seeking admission. We are delighted to formally enroll 40 exceptional participants in the Cohort 3 program. So this cohort is particularly notable for its Pan-African diversity, with students representing 5 distinct nations, because we have students on this cohort from Kenya, from Uganda, from Cameroon, Malawi, and Nigeria. This expansion solidifies our mission to foster a unified, powerful network of female leaders dedicated to changing the narrative of leadership across Africa. We are deeply honored by your presence at this opening ceremony for Cohort 3. Your support is invaluable to the success and continued growth of this vital program, and we look forward to a successful and impactful 6 months as we embark on this journey for Cohort 3. Thank you and remain blessed. I remain yours sincerely, Adeoye, the founder and the CEO of Golden Oasis Spring Foundation, the owners of Oasis Leadership Academy, running the program. So without wasting much of our time, I will call on Honourable Siju Adeoye. But before she comes up, I will take some time to read her biography to us so that we can know who is addressing us this evening. Just give me some few minutes while I go through her biography for us. So Honourable Siju Adeoye, a British Nigerian politician, served as a councillor for Chatham Central Ward of Medway Council in England from 2019 to 2023, initially representing the Labour Party. She gained local prominence over 2 decades in Kent, leading campaigns on issues ranging from road safety, fly tripping, youth interventions, children's services, refugee advocacy, Black Lives Matter, education and criminal justice, to research on COVID-19's impact on BAME communities and vaccine access in that group. She held roles on the planning committees, Health and Adult Social Care Scrutiny Committee, the Climate Change Advisory Group, as substitute, Licensing Committee, Admiralty Court, Chatham Charities Trustees, Medway Diversity Forum, and served as school governor for 2 primary schools. Labour nominated her deputy mayor of Medway in 2020. In October 2022, after being denied candidacy for the Gillingham North Ward and feeling unsupported on racial equality matters, Adeoye resigned the Labour whip and sat as an independent. 2 months later, she joined Medway's ruling conservative group to regain access to committee roles and continue advocating for residents effectively. She stood as a conservative candidate for Gillingham South in the 2023 elections, finishing with 471 votes behind Amy Smith, who got 509, and significantly behind the 3 Labour winners. Chatham Central Ward was also dissolved in 2023 and replaced by Chatham Central and Brunton Ward. Outside politics, she chaired Stamford Hill Prison's Independent Monitoring Board between 2018 to 2019 and continue as a member. She is also active with Aegis Trust, UNA UK, and Baby Avon International on issues like genocide prevention and maternal health. And also, let me add, she is a governorship aspirant in the Osun State governorship election coming up recently. So for us who are in Nigeria, please, I want us to root for our own Honourable MS Siju Adeoye. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. We are so much. We are glad to have you. So the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. What an introduction. I'm simply honored by you all, and thank you for having me this afternoon. So distinguished faculties, members, program partners, invited guests, and the remarkable women of Cohort 3, I'm deeply honored to welcome you to the official launch of the Women in Leadership Program Cohort 3, a gathering that represents not just learning, but a deliberate investment in Africa's leadership future. I speak to you today not only as the founder of the Gillingham African Community Forum, or the beautiful, well-read accolades that my brother has just introduced me by, but as someone who has served in public office and understands firsthand the realities of leadership, the complexity of decision-making, the weight of responsibility, and the courage required to stand for the people, especially when it's difficult and unpopular. Leadership, whether in public service, civic life, or institution, is not about ambition only, it's about service. It's about choosing integrity over convenience, people over power, and long-term impact over short-term gain. These are the values this program stands for, and the value Africa urgently needs. Across our continent, women continue to do the work of leadership, yet remain underrepresented in spaces where policies are shaped and resources are allocated. This program is not merely preparing women to occupy space, it's equipping you to transform the systems behind those seats, to govern with competence, empathy, and accountability. Cohort 3 is especially significant, with participants drawn from 5 African nations. This cohort reflects a true Pan-African vision, one that recognizes that Africa's progress will not only be driven by isolated efforts, but by collaboration across borders, cultures, and institutions. The network you build here will matter as much as the skills you acquire. Over the course of this program, you will engage with real-world leadership challenges, governance, ethics, inclusion, economic development, and social justice. You'll be asked not only what kind of leaders you want to be or want to become, but who you are prepared to stand for when leadership demands courage. I would like to formally recognize our distinguished faculty whose commitment reflects leadership at its finest, leadership that gives, mentors, and multiplies impact. That's Dr. Amina Ali, Loretta Green, Williams, Key, McKay, Carl, Joburg, Fortunate Mbakwe, Professor Justina Wawazi, Nwangube, Dorothy Okachi, Dr. Mosun Oke, Adiola, Damilola Bakare, Favor Kajung, Masamari, and of course, our distinguished leader hosting us tonight, Abiodun Adeleke. Your selfless service and intellectual investment in this court is shaping leaders who will influence policy, strengthen institutions, and advocate for communities long after this program concludes. To the women of Cohort 3, leadership will test you. Public life will challenge your values, your resilience, your voice. But remember this, Africa does not need perfect leaders. It needs prepared, principled, and people-centered leaders. Use this program to build capacity, but also character. Learn to lead with clarity, courage, and compassion. And wherever your journey takes you, into public office, civil society, business, community leadership, carry the responsibility to leave systems better than you found them. As we officially commence this cohort, I welcome you into the community of leaders committed not just to success, but to service and transformation. Welcome to Women in Leadership Program Cohort 3. The work ahead is demanding, but the impact will be generational. Thank you, and I wish you all a purposeful and successful program.
Wow, that's amazing. Thank you, Honourable. Thank you so much for that. It's a privilege having you. So before we let you go, I don't know if we have anyone in the house. This is an opportunity, and I also want to make a special request at the end of the program, because we have even some of our faculties as mentors for some of our students. So I would like to ask for your permission, if you wouldn't mind, probably in the course of the program or after the program, I want to believe one or two of the students will want to have your contact, maybe to get in touch with you, to be more closer personally. So if you wouldn't mind, can I share your contact with them?
Yeah, that would be okay. Thank you.
Great,
It would be a
perfect. Thank you
pleasure.
so much. Oh, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, madam. So before we let you go, so I wouldn't know, do we have anybody in the house that have one or two things to ask our special guest? She's so vast, in leadership role and position, and though the call will officially resume by January, but this is the official opening. So before we let her go, anything for her, any question for our Honourable? You can just unmute and ask. She's available for us tonight at no cost, free of charge.
Go for it.
Are we there? Anybody?
Don't be shy.
Aspiring leaders, waiting, anyone?
May I suggest that if maybe because people are being placed on the spot, if
Okay,
between now, oh, somebody's asking a question. But I was going to say
okay,
that if anybody has any question during the week or anything like that, you can always message me, email me. I'm quite happy to answer those questions throughout the course of
great,
the week or in the months ahead.
great, perfect, great. I'll do that. Thank you so much. So it's like somebody raised up her hand, so you can just unmute and speak before we close, before we call it a wrap. Okay, in the absence of that,
Good
I want to
evening.
say thank. Okay, all right, please. Yeah, good evening. We can hear you.
I wanted to first of all thank her. I wanted first of all thank her for her advice and everything she has told us. And I also have a question for her. I was asking about what this program and how is she coping.
Okay, so if I get her right, I think she's asking your motivation in leadership roles, as in what really inspired you, because you said we don't really need it's not about big leaders, it's about leaders who are prepared to face the tasks and handle the challenges. So probably I think, like, for somebody like you who is up there, and for somebody like her who is coming up there, so probably she's asking, what's your motivation, what keeps you going?
Right. Thank you for that wonderful question. I think for me personally, it was more or less dissatisfaction in situations, circumstances that I'm surrounded with, and I felt that I was complaining, and I also felt that people around me were complaining. But then there's no point in complaining is good, but there's no point in complaining if you're not ready to do something about it. So I had to sit down and say to myself, well, I need to change or make a difference to these situations that I'm faced with, that I'm not happy with, and what's the best way of going about it. So I had to really sit down with long thoughts, deliberation. And I said, well, where it really matters is where we really need to go. We need to be at the decision-making table to actually affect change. And then nobody will let you in. Nobody will give you that space on the table. You have to grab your chair, pull up and sit, create space for yourself. So that was what led me into public life, public service, that, well, I need to get into where the decisions are being made. So not just here in the United Kingdom, also in Nigeria. I sit there complaining about Nigeria. Nigeria is not good. Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that. But if you're not part of it, how can you make a change? So I think anytime we feel there's a dissatisfaction, something we're not happy with, I think that is a gentle call within our spirit that we need to rise and do something about it. And it's a matter of courage, finding that courage that, you know what, I can do it, and believing in yourself, of course, that, it is possible. Nothing is given for free. Power is not given away just like that. You have to go out there and say that, well, you want to be part of this simply because you want to serve the people. So what drives me, part of the question that was asked is that I actually want to serve. And I want policies that are people-centered and where we will have, true social justice, for situations that we're surrounded with. I hope I answered your question.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. And actually, that is even the spirit of this program, Women in Leadership, to serve. Enough of complaint, just rise up and stand up and do something about the situation. It's not about to complain and to murmur. You just have to rise up and do something about the situation. Thank you so much. That's amazing. That's amazing. So, anybody else before we call it a wrap? Because I want to make this as brief as possible.
I think there was somebody else that raised their hand whilst talking.
Okay, Fiona Jimsy, you can just unmute and.
I think it was Fiona. Her hands is raised.
Okay. Okay, all right.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Honourable Siju. Wow.
Fiona, you may need to speak up a little bit. Fiona, you may need to speak up a little bit. We are hearing you faintly.
Please, can you hear me, sir?
Yes, better.
This is better.
All right, thank you very much. First, I would like to thank you very much, Honourable Siju,
apologies, please. We are sorry, Fiona. We are country of residence.
All right, my name is Fiona Ajimsubom. I'm from Cameroon.
Oh,
great. Thank you, Fiona.
Warm welcome.
Go on.
Thank you very much. So thank you very much, Honourable Siju, for your speech and your encouragement. This is really amazing for me. I'm encouraged by what you have already achieved, and already I have so many things I would like to ask you if time permits, and perhaps as you answer, some will be coming up as well. So first of all, I would like to ask about you're Nigerian and you're also UK, so that's already, how can I say, an advantage, or I don't know whether it's a disadvantage, but I'm really interested. How has being Nigerian influenced your work in the UK so far?
How has being a Nigerian influenced my work? Well, I guess some of it has been our culture, in the way I was brought up, in terms of things like family values, for instance. I've taken that into my policy work, where, we want policies that will advocate for families and seek justice for families, particularly, we are in the age that we have different types of families, and sometimes some families feel disproportionately affected, so we, or myself, coming from such background, valuing family, I put that first in everything that I do, and making sure that when we are, deciding on issues, we put families at the forefront of the agenda. So that's one of the principles that I've, used effectively in my work.
All right, thank you very much, Honourable Siju.
Thank you.
My second question, I wanted to ask, yes, well, how would you describe yourself as a leader? What kind of leadership style would you say that you have?
I'm an active listener. I think for any leadership, you have to be an active listener. You have to have the capacity to actually listen to people. There's a difference between listening And there's a difference in you actually actively listening to what that person or groups of people are saying to you. And actually, when you are listening, showing empathy in what people are saying to you rather than sympathy. So I think those are these, things that I bring into my work daily in terms of helping people that I come across with every day, in my work. I think those are just the basics that every single person must have.
Wow, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Can I ask another question, if you don't
Yes,
mind?
go for it. Go for it.
Please do.
All right. So, I'll be inviting you to perhaps share a story about the most satisfying thing you've experienced as a leader and the most challenging thing you've experienced and how you overcame it.
Okay, I think if we were that, I mean, there's been many moments of satisfaction during the course of, being a leader, from, the calls that you get or the emails that you get, and the ability that, I was nearby to be able to respond to situations right there and there, visiting homes, visiting streets, and being able to hear firsthand, people's experiences. I think those are, very rewarding, and the ability that you can report it back and be able to do something about it. I say those every day, makes me fulfilled in what I do. So but in terms of challenges, I think the most challenging situation that I probably experienced was during the Black Lives Matter, for instance, when we were actually advocating, for social justice. So not only, I'm a politician, I'm also an activist. And I always say this, not every activist will become a politician, but every politician must be an activist. So I was quite vocal during those difficult period of time that we experienced worldwide, because it was a global, phenomenon. And able to not just march for marching sake or protest for protest's sake, but actually be able to table one or two or three recommendations within my locality for us to actually affect change. And one of the things that we did during that period was to have on our council, where we moved a motion that we will have Black history being taught in school. So not just during Black History Month, which is quite okay, good, all well and good, but we want it taught throughout, at any time of the year, throughout, curriculum, and that was put in place, even though it was challenging at the time, but we were able to, get that motion in and have that motion passed. So that was one of the effects that one of the challenges that I had. Another challenge is because we wanted, a slave trader um, who had his name in a car park. We had the change, and we had to go through a series of challenges to actually get that change, but I'm glad that, we got through in the end. And and it's written down in history that, the car park name was changed. So it was formerly was Sir John Hawkins, which we all know who he was and what he did during the slave trade. He pioneered the slave trade, the transatlantic movement, and we were able to change the name of the car park to the church nearby next to the street as St. John. Coincidentally, they both bear the same name, John. So from Sir John to St. John, we were able to do that for the community. And that St. John building actually was the building that provide electricity, first to provide electricity for the entire town. So it was so historical that at least we were able to put such good deed on the map and in history. So yes, I will attribute, that key achievement to, shall I say, to one of my challenges in public office. I hope I answered your
Thank you
question.
very much.
You're welcome.
Yes, you answered my question. Thank you very much. Listening to you speak, I'm getting that in leadership there are enormous challenges as well as enormous satisfaction when you put in the
Yes.
work.
Yes, yes. I mean, you can't give up, and you have to have the courage, because there are things that is going to throw you off course, but you have to have the resilience, and the courage, that, I started this journey. There's a reason why I'm being called on this journey, and I must fulfill that purpose, and you have an assignment to fulfill. Yeah.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much, Honorable,
You're
for
welcome.
sharing your story. And
Thank you.
hopefully, as time goes on, you get to share more and more of these stories with us. Thank you.
I
Over to
cert-
you, sir.
I certainly will. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And by His grace, by the grace of God, when we'll be having the closing of the Cohort 3, more like the graduation, we'll be bringing back Honourable Siju to come back and address us, and perhaps then some of you will be sharing your testimony, your experience, asking more questions after you've been taught, more like engaging more, in a robust way with her at the end of the course. So I hope Honourable will be available because of a tight schedule, but I think we'll definitely try to work it out
I'll
so
do
that
my best.
Okay, all right, thank you so much. Because she's here at the beginning, so when we also calling it a wrap for the Cohort 3, by His grace, you also come around and also give us the kind of another charge, to be able to go out there and be the best that we actually created to be. So I don't want to say thank you. So before we call it a wrap, any other person? Penina, please unmute. Tell us your name and your country of residence, and go ahead with your question.
Yes, thank you very much. My name is Penina Naiga. I'm a resident in Uganda. Actually, as Fiona was kept on asking questions, I was typing mine in the chat so that I don't lose track of them. One of the questions I had for Honorable was during her tenure, what are some of the key policy challenges that she has interfaced or she has engaged with different people that affect women, and there's been little or no progress or meaningful change yet, and they're still within the African context, and also to enlighten us or to tell us a brief about some of the movements she has been in, and it was it's a success, and that there's meaningful change that happened to it, something like that. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much for that wonderful question. I think some of them have already answered your question, but I will say this, because when I was in office, I was in opposition. So where you are in opposition and you're not the majority in the council, that can prove to be a challenge in terms of presenting your motion and in terms of arguing for it and actually, winning the case for it. So I mean, there are times where I have to approach other members within the council I had to lobby them, even though I know they're not, on my side of the carpet, but I had to still lobby them to try and see whether or not they will vote, for the motion that I'm about to table. So sometimes because it's politics and people in power or in administration would want to, wield their power, you will find challenges, because they will not want the opposition to take glory, for some of the policies, particularly if it's an outstanding policy that could really, really, affect change within the community. Sadly, so they may turn it down and vote it down because they will now represent it amongst themselves and would like to take credit for it. So you will come across instances like that. But what I will say to that is it doesn't matter. Even if that happens, is what I'm trying to say, that as long as, what we're trying to achieve is achieved, and the people are being served, just, and, we are doing what we are called to do as public servants. and able to serve our community to our best ability, that nobody's left out and nobody's disproportionately affected by any of our policies, I'm good to go. Thank you.
So basically, it's not about who takes the glory, it's about the life being affected and changed.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow, that's great. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
So is that all from you? Penina from Uganda, is that all?
Yes, she has responded to me very well. Thank you very much. And maybe some other questions will arise with time. And now, yeah, actually, something has popped up in my mind. We usually have policy engagements with one of with our sister organizations, and I would like to request, if at all we have some now regarding the legislator part on a pan-feminist perspective. Would she be interested to be part of them, to be on the panel, to contribute?
Anyway, as long as time allows and time permits, I'll be glad. It would be a pleasure to contribute my little quarter.
Okay, thank you very much. It has been nice hearing from you, and I've actually learned a lot from you. Like power, it doesn't matter who takes the glory, it's about change.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Penina. Thank you, Penina. Actually, Honourable Siju is open. I just sent her a WhatsApp message and I shared the vision with her about what we are doing. And boom, she just locked in. So she's open, to what will impact life and change community. So please, whenever you need her, she's available. I will gladly share her contact, either for questions or for engagement or for whatever. I believe that she's open and always available to make a change. So I want to say thank you so much, Honourable Siju, for the inspiring words and the challenging words and the motivating words. And as we also go on in the cohort, as the questions come up, I'll be forwarding them. And for those who also need to get in contact with you personally, once they request, I also gladly share your contact with them, because this is a closed cohort. Everybody on this cohort, we are closed. It's not just open to the general public. So whoever has your contact here, just be rest assured that they are from the cohort and they are requesting a legitimate or making a legitimate request. Yeah. So thank you so much, Honourable Siju, and for everyone who has also joined us. It's a great start, and I want to tell you the next 6 months from January is going to be engaging, challenging, and full of inspiring things to learn. So thank you all. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Have a lovely rest of the day.
And you too. And Merry Christmas ahead for those celebrating Christmas. And
Oh,
a prosperous
Merry
Christmas. New Year.
Merry Christmas to you.
Yeah, same to you, Honourable. Same to you and to everyone. Yeah. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. Thank